A chat with Glendora, a show for living right. A chat with Glendora makes your day so bright. Words of inspiration, jokes to make you smile. Come relax and chat with Glendora for a while.
Well, hi there, everybody. Welcome again to A Chat with Glendora. And this is program number
14,379.
Thank you, Amy Diamond. 14,379. And this is the first day of October. A whole new month, and a beautiful month it is. We have big news. YouTube congratulated us. Mimi, YouTube congratulated us. They deserve all the congratulations. YouTube congratulated us for having 500 subscribers.
Yes, they did.
Amy, they certainly don't congratulate us for having the greatest number of viewers. We don't get many viewers, do we, dear?
No. I mean, some videos get more views than others, but yeah.
Well, Marla Dog in her new raincoat, she got 68 views.
Wow.
She received 68 views.
68, that's a lot.
And the other big news, Amy, is that we started the costumes again. This is costume number 1. We have 35 of them. And we wear a different one every program because it's a code. It tells us something about that, this being the red, white, and blue one, that tells us that it's number 1. And it tells us that it's October 1st. Anyway, that being said, Amy, do you have any other happy happenings to tell us?
McGee and Charlie Dog?
Say again, sweetie?
Lisa McGee and Charlie Dog?
Oh, honey, Charlie Dog came. And I scratched Charlie Dog's back and scratched it and scratched it and scratched it. And that wasn't enough. Charlie Dog wanted more.
Aww.
But I know, Amy, how good it feels to have somebody scratch your back.
Aww.
So I kept it up until my poor hand was tired. And Charlie Dog is a very astute watchdog. Oh, he did much barking, honey. And Lisa McGee, you know, this is Tuesday, Amy, and we have to clean the bathroom on Tuesday. Did you know that? Well, we don't have to do it because Lisa McGee did it for us.
That's good.
And then Amy and Lisa came over and went through the first 10 boxes of the electronics bench.
Really?
What we're looking for, Amy, is the battery for the JVC camera. It's mixed in with another camera.
Yeah.
We have about 10 camcorders. So, Amy, would you go through them with me one day?
Sure.
And see if we can find that battery?
Well, I'm guessing it's probably in one of the boxes that has all the editing and the camera stuff in it.
I think so, too, and there are 4 such boxes.
Yeah.
One we did was the tripods.
Yeah.
Do you like the tripod you have, or would you like a different one?
No, this one's good. It's actually very roomy. It makes it easier to move the camera.
Amy, tell the people what we just did for the last hour from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m.
Well, we were talking with the local author, Trent Romer, and he came over and he autographed your books for you. And he talked about how he grew up on Elm Street.
Right down this 4 or 5 houses down the street, folks.
Yeah, and he said his dad still lives here, and so does his sister.
Keep going, Amy. How many books did he autograph?
5 books in total.
Can you tell the people to whom?
One was Stephanie Casper, then there was Glendora, and then there was Pat Sarr.
Do I have it right set up, Kim?
Yes. Pat Sarr, and then there was me and... Who was the last one?
Sandy
Oh,
Blakeman?
Sandy, yeah, that's it, Sandy.
Glendora, Sandy Blakeman, Pat Sarr, Amy Diamond, Stephanie Casper. Was that it?
Yeah. And apparently he went to school with Pat's son, Ben.
Yes, he was. And he was the basketball coach, wasn't he?
No, he was on the team back then.
Oh,
but
he was on the team.
Yeah. When he grew up, he became the coach, yeah.
So that was an exciting one. Excuse me, folks. That was an exciting 1 hour. What are the happy happenings, dear?
We covered the electronics bench and the battery. Favorite referee.
What did we do, honey? Oh, this I like. Lisa Jacobs, our volunteer from Community Caregivers. She's a volunteer, and she works faithfully. She is professionally a high school teacher who has taught something like 35 years. But in her retirement, she's a referee. She's a referee, Amy. She referees soccer games and LaSalle games. And you know what one of the soccer players said to Lisa Jacobs? To Lisa McGee? What did one of the soccer players say to Lisa McGee? You're my favorite referee. Isn't that nice? All right, keep going, Amy.
Next one is the director of library visits.
Yes. The director of the Nassau Free Library herself, in person, visited Glendora from 11:45 a.m. Yeah, 11:15 to 11:45 a.m. That was an honoring visit. Thank you, Mrs. Tracy Clegg.
Finish the costumes. We covered that.
Yeah.
Elma's trunk found.
Oh, yeah, Amy, can you find Elmer?
Elmer? Yeah.
And I have his trunk.
Elmer is right here. There you go.
And here's the rest of his trunk, folks. Right here. Can you see it?
Yeah.
And Amy and I are going to bring in some glue, and we'll fix him as good as new, won't we, Amy?
Sure.
Give him life anew. Okay, I'll put that in my shirt pocket.
Here's the rest of them.
He came from the Dominican Republic, and April Jacobs brought him to us.
Osorio? Osorio?
Oh, Janet Osorio in Willimantic, Connecticut. You are an angel. You signed our renewal for 6 months to have our program played in 15 municipalities in the Connecticut, University of Connecticut area, Storrs, Connecticut. Amy, are they, is the women's basketball still in good shape in Storrs, Connecticut? They were the champions. Remember them?
Yeah.
Women's basketball. You don't follow women's basketball, okay?
No, but I do know some names of teams of basketball. Not a lot, but some.
All right. Next happy
Waterbury Library, don't know phone number.
Waterbury Library, we want to thank you for your generosity in time that you spent telling us about Sky Cable TV, public access, going defunct, and that somebody, other nonprofit, was taking it over. We cannot find their telephone number. People up in Waterbury, please give me the telephone number of the new nonprofit running public access television in Waterbury, Connecticut. Please. Please, please. Plea and please must be related. The word please must come from plea.
Congratulations from YouTube. We covered that. The history of Wikipedia.
Oh, yes, we are reading that on their website. Very interesting. The history of Wikipedia. A free reference.
Blue Jay visited. Wants a third feeding.
Third time, right, Amy?
Yeah.
7 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Amy, how many pounds of birdseed do we feed them a week? Is it 20 or 10?
I'd say 10.
10,
Open 10-pound of birdseed.
Yeah. Thank you for doing that, Pam Stasic.
Bernardo, BronxNet.
Bernardo, who runs the public access in the Bronx, on BronxNet, likes the documentary, A Chat with Glendora, made by Victoria. And he says he wants to play it on his system, but wouldn't you know that Bernardo would have something different from everybody else? So we have asked Vicky to get in touch with Bernardo and see if they can resolve that.
Say that again?
We're trying to get Vicky in touch with Bernardo.
Oh, yeah.
To see if the two of them can come up with a format that they can Dropbox it.
Yeah.
And Bernardo can play it on his public access TV station in the Bronx.
Yeah. Veg news about procrastinating, eating vegan food.
Yes. Folks, just a minute. Do you know why they say it's the Bronx? Amy, do you know why you don't say you go to the Queens, you don't go to the Manhattan, you don't go to the Staten, but you go to the Bronx? Why do they have THE in front of the Bronx? Would you like to know, Amy?
No.
Well, there was a family who lived in that area, north of the island, north part of the island, and their name was Bronk. They were Dutch, and their name was Bronc.
Really?
And so when people would go to see the Bronx family, they would say, we're going to the Bronx.
Yeah.
And it lived down hundreds of years, ever since the 1600s.
Wow.
We're going to see the Bronx. All right. Next year, you started to tell me one. What was it?
Veg news, procrastinating.
Yeah. Do you remember what Veg News said?
Yeah. They said that eating more vegan options could help you stop procrastinating. Something like that.
Yes, say that again.
They said that eating more vegan items, like vegetables and things like that, could help you stop procrastinating.
Right, and vegan candy.
Yeah.
And vegan pie. And vegan hamburgers.
Yeah.
And vegan casseroles. If you would eat more of it and stop your procrastination and get on to being what you should be, which is vegan. You should be plant-based vegan for your own health, but majorly for the cruelty it does to the animals. And next majorly to the cruelty it does to the earth. We're wearing out our beautiful earth, which is self-sustaining. A grand thing that the earth doesn't depend on anybody else except the sun.
Grady Hearn Lockport.
Grady Hearn, please get some videos right away to Lockport, to Rich Zach. He says he can't play programs unless he has programs. My dear Grady, I don't mean to rush you, but get out a pile of programs to Lockport, that's outside of Buffalo, and they serve all of the surrounding suburbs of Buffalo. There's so many of them. There's where the Buffalo Bills played, East Aurora, there's Lackawanna, there's Indian Orchard and Williamstown and Amherst. Why, there's about 15 suburbs that Lockport serves with public access TV. Proceed, Amy.
Done the Jackson Network.
Yeah. Amy and I and Stephanie, we got in touch with every one of the public access TV stations in the Robert Jackson Network. Bronx, Manhattan, Queens, Staten, Westchester, a lot in Connecticut. No, they don't do Chicago. Grady Hearn does that. Anyway, there was 21 of them. Thank you, Amy. Next.
Coulter, Lauren Coulter.
Yes, this is the Gary Black Network. Gary Black was the program manager for Time Warner. Time Warner was engulfed by Spectrum and Spectrum did a horrible job on public access. In fact, they did nothing at all. And Gary Black now works for a school system doing all their electronics. And Gary Black cablecasts a chat with Glendora on 10 TV stations around the Northeast. Boston, Hartford, West Hartford, East Hartford, quite a few of them. And so we're going to finish the Gary Black Network today, Amy. And then the networks will all be done for the month of October.
Cronin, Joe Cronin.
Somebody help me get in touch with Joe Cronin. He's not being taken care of by the Long Island Veterans Home in Stony Point. Is it Stony Point? No. And we want to get in touch with him. We sent him a package, and we haven't heard from him or anybody else. Where is that package? Who is eating it? Next, dear.
The next one is Impossible Burgers.
Amy, tell the folks about Impossible Burgers. Delicious. Absolutely delicious.
They're really good, and they taste good, but they cost $13 at Walmart.
Yeah, but you get 6.
I know.
6 burgers. Is that so bad, honey?
I know, but that's a lot of money for a plant-based burgers, though.
Yes, it is, but they're better than meat burgers.
And Glendora said they were as good as the Impossible Whoppers, but
they are.
I think Impossible Whoppers are made by Burger King. I think Burger King has their own recipe.
Oh, okay. Well, they're both good.
Compression stocking.
Compression stocking, they work so well. You want to know why, folks? Well, they hold the parts of their injured leg together. Somehow or other, at something age or something, the parts seem to wander. They seem to wander all over the place. But the compression stocking brings them back together and holds them together. And then the compression stocking keeps the leg warm. And I don't care what anybody says, the body wants to be warm all the time. None of this ice stuff. It wants to be warm. And it feels good. There's support. And there's protection from outside banging. Okay, is that the end of Happy Happenings? For October 1?
Next one is the mashed potato, green beans, and tender bits.
Amy, you promised me today that you would fix me Betty Crocker mashed potatoes with green peas inside the potatoes, all mixed up into the mashed potatoes.
Yes.
And with tender bit, which is a vegan pork, tender bit, sauteed and cut into pieces and also put into the mashed potato.
Yes.
You promised me that today?
Yes, I will do that for you.
Oh, thank you, sweetie. Is that the end?
Inventories.
Yes, we have about 7 compartments that have to have an inventory. The grocery cupboard, the bathroom cupboard, the under the sink cupboard, the dish cupboard, the chips, guest cabin. And every day we go through 3 written inventories. Next, Amy. Folks, have you heard of the Wonder Diet? You eat anything you want during the day, and then the next morning you wonder why your clothes don't fit. Next, Amy.
Last one is Consumer Direct.
Consumer Direct. The governor of New York wants to pay a company outside of New York to do all of the Consumer Direct clear across the whole state of New York and taking away our own private Albany Consumer Direct. Now, Consumer Direct pays Amy about $550 a week. Consumer Direct pays Stephanie Casper for 11 hours. I think they pay her something like $200. What's going to happen if this out-of-state agency gobbles us up? Please, New York State Legislature, leave Consumer Direct alone. Please, folks, call your New York legislature or email and say, leave Consumer Direct the way it is. Did you ever hear of the Army diet? Everything you eat goes to the front. Well, this is a chat with Glendora, and this is October 1st, 2024, Anno Domini, the year of our Lord. And we thank you, God, for such a grand universe, such a grand world. And here's how it is, folks. It's goodness. It's all about goodness. That's the way it really is. Don't you dare have anything to do with evil. It's all goodness. Remember, about evil, you ask yourself, did I start it? No, you probably didn't. Am I going to remedy it? No, you're probably not. So don't have anything to do it, just go on. Anything to do with it, just go on doing twice as much good as you have been doing. Have nothing to do with evil. It's all goodness.
And that's it for Happy Happenings.
Oh, thank you. How long?
Right now we're at 23 minutes.
And you started with 2 or 3?
Yes, 2.
So the whole thing's 25 minutes?
Yes.
So we have 3 to do, right?
Yes.
Amy, thank you very much. Hi there, everybody. Are you ready for the Happy Happenings for the 1st of October, 2024? Tuesday? Amy Diamond is going to be the prompter. Just as soon as she wakes up, folks. There's signs of Amy waking up.
Gary Black Network.
The Gary Black Network is done. He has 10 TV stations. Boston, Massachusetts, Portland, Oregon, San Diego, Groton, Connecticut. Very important TV stations. And when the Gary Black Network is done, folks, that means all of the network has been brought up to date. We send an email to all of them about Waterbury, Connecticut getting public access, although we cannot find their telephone number. I'm ready for the next one, Amy.
Trust is 93 cents.
Yeah, the trusted 93 cents. Go ahead, Amy. I would appreciate your going through these as fast as you can to keep up our pace.
Battery, JVC battery.
Oh, yes. Give Amy credit. She went through the electronics bench and she found a box of cameras and she looked for a JVC battery and she didn't find it. So she looked in another box for JC battery, JVC, and another box, and she found one. Thank you, Amy. Good work. It only goes back about 10 years, this JVC camera. They don't even make them anymore. Next, Amy.
April camcorder.
April, what is the status of your Canon camcorder that Glendora gave you? Do you have any footage on it? Do you use it? Next, Amy.
Columns 11 to 20.
Yes, that's another thing our dear Amy did. She went through the electronics bench, columns 11 through 20.
Melanie Painter.
Repeat.
Melanie Painter.
Yes, Melanie Painter is an art teacher in the school Bethlehem in Delmar, New York. And she's very interested in having one of her art students work employment on a chat with Glendora. And it is a grand job. My goodness, it leads to a career. And how? It's an exciting world of public access television. And so Melanie checked us all out on International Movie Database and on Google. And she wants to bring over one of her students. You know, Melody, as I think this over, I think you should come with the student. And I think you should stay the 2 hours and watch the student work and go home together. I think that would be a nice way to handle this. Next, Amy.
Cronin out of reach.
Repeat, dear.
Cronin out of reach.
Yes, Joe Cronin is not at the Long Island Veterans Home in Stony Point. And Glennie can't seem to find out about him. And nobody there seems to tell Glennie anything about it. Karen called this morning. Thank you, Karen. But Karen says you'll have to talk to the social worker. All right. The social worker won't be in until Monday. Do you think that's correct? Who is taking care of Joseph Cronin from Wednesday to Monday? Long Island's Veterans Home. Can you do better than that? Next, Amy.
David Smith video open house.
Yes, I'm waiting anxiously, folks, to show you the open house of Cox Cable Television Public Access in Meriden, Connecticut. Next, Amy.
Consumer Direct Angelina.
What about Consumer Direct?
Angelina.
Oh, yes. Can you tell the folks that, Amy?
It was something about their coordinator, Angelina Cox, getting a promotion of some kind. I can't remember what it was, but yeah.
From a program assistant to something?
Yeah, something like that.
Yes. We're so happy for you, Angelina, and nobody could deserve it more so. Consumer Direct promotion.